Hey everybody, it's Adam here. Today's video is about increasing your bench press max. A lot of people have asked me over the years, how to build that bigger bench press. And so today I'm going to talk about my top 3 exercises for doing that, in my opinion. The biggest key to getting a bigger bench is getting past what I call that brick wall. So many times over the years throughout competitions, I see people hit those big benches and they hit what I like to call just like a visible brick wall right there at the bottom of their bench. And I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about real quick. So many times you get people, they come down real clean once they hit that chest. So they get about right here, they hit what I like to call the stick. Today I'm going to show you 3 exercises that are great for beating that sticking point and being able to increase your power so you can then explode through that brick wall that you hit there. This exercise here is what I like to call a dead start. Here what we're focusing on is we're taking that weight and we're moving our start position to where that sticking point is on our bench press. So we're going to practice on exploding from that sticking point up without having that momentum of that eccentric action there. So what you're going to do here, you're going to take a squat rack and you're going to lower the assist bars down to where when you lie down on this bench, that bar is going to start right where that sticking point is on your regular bench press. And I'm going to show you an example of a few of these. You're going to get up underneath this weight and you're going to line that bar up right across your nipple line like it would be on your regular bench press. From here, you're going to get your that same width grip that you would use on your standard bench press. And you're going to just practice exploding from here to the top of your press. From here, you're going to come back down, release your grip for a second, take a breath, and hit it again. When I do these, I like to do sets of about 5 to 6 repetitions with about 60% of what my run rep max would be. This exercise here is your plyometric push-up. I believe this exercise is so important because I talk about having that power to push through that sticking point at the bottom of that bench. And these plyometric push-ups are great for working on that explosiveness from the bottom of your bench. So I make sure I end all my chest workouts with a set of these plyometric push-ups. I usually do 4 sets until failure. It's not really important that you have to do any of that fancy clapping or anything, but really just focus on using as much power as you can to push your upper body off the ground. And I'll show you an example of these. Here you just get in your regular push-up position. You come down and on the way up, this is where you really focus on just powering through. Like I said, I usually do about 4 sets of these till failure, and that really is going to help you work on that explosiveness from the bottom. This exercise here is called, what most commonly termed, it's called a negative. A more technical term for it is eccentric training. There's 2 actions in every joint movement. There's your concentric and your eccentric action. Your eccentric is usually the action when you're bringing that bench down to your chest. The point here on these negatives is to build those eccentric muscles. And this is important because the more strength you have in that eccentric movement, the more energy you're going to have to explode back off that chest. So that's what's important about doing these negatives. I'm going to show you an example real quick of how a negative is properly done. For weight on this, you want to use about 75% of what your 1 rep max is. So do that max, and that's the weight you're going to use on this. I'm going to use a pretty lightweight here just to show you a good example of how to do this. It's also very important that you also have a spotter for this exercise because you're going to need it. Get your weight on there and you unrack this weight. You're going to have your spotter. He needs to be ready. You're going to do about a 5-second drop down to your chest during that eccentric motion. It's going to go about like this. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5,000. At that point, your spotter is going to lift that weight back off your chest. And you're going to do this for about 6 to 7 reps. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5,000. The last tip for doing that big bench press is recovery. You have to let your muscles recover. Make sure you're only hitting that chest really hard about once every 7 to 10 days. Given that your chest, that time to recover, it's going to really build up that strength and that explosiveness. So if you give yourself plenty of recovery time, you can try to incorporate these 3 exercises I showed you today into your chest routine, and I promise you, you'll be on your way to that bigger bench.